Okay, so according to many reports, the Los Angeles Angels are not signing Trevor Bauer. I definitely wanted Bauer to sign with the Angels, and I think a lot of baseball fans did. Everyone wants to see Mike Trout in the playoffs. But with the Angels ruled out, it looks like the Mets are by far the favorites, but maybe there's a sneaky team that might sign the top free agent. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video on what's next for the Angels after not signing Trevor Bauer, and really why he didn't sign with the Angels. Or, well, he hasn't signed yet, but why he most likely will not sign with the LA Angels. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications. But before we get into this video, 68% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed. Get your life together, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and leave a like on this video. And now let's get into the video. Bauer, great 2020 season. 2020 NL Cy Young winner. And he's a really good pitcher. But I know a lot of people are saying this was one fluke season. And I'm not necessarily saying that. I know the spin rate stuff comes into effect too. Now, I don't necessarily think he did cheat in any way, because I don't really think that you can go out there and say and talk all this trash about the Astros and their cheating and then cheat yourself. I just don't think that would be it. But I could be wrong. So there's a lot of reasons. The Angels organization does not see themselves as a match for Trevor Bauer. And it looks like, or practically zero, that he ends up signing with the Angels. And this was really surprising to me. This is just really surprising to me, because I thought that the Angels would end up getting Bauer. But it was known that Mickey Calloway, the old pitching coach for Cleveland, when Bauer was with Cleveland, they don't have the best of relationship there, and that was a big reason why Bauer didn't want to sign with the Angels there. And I mean, if you don't like the pitching coach there, because Mickey Callaway is more of an old school pitching coach, if we're being honest. He's more of an old school pitching coach compared to Trevor Bauer, who's more of a new school pitcher. So it makes sense there. You can understand that. And if they didn't have the best relationship in Cleveland, then it's not going to work out in LA either. I can about tell you that. Joe Maddon would have been a great manager. But if I'm Perry Minasian, or whatever his name is, who is the GM of the Angels, I don't care. Mickey Callaway is gone. He is out of the door if we can get Trevor Bauer. He is out of the door. He can go. And he would be gone quick. They signed Jose Quintana this offseason, and that's been about it so far this offseason. So, yeah, their lineup, it's still a very, very good lineup. There's no and if or buts about that. You've got David Fletcher, Mike Trout, Anthony Rendon, Shohei Ohtani, Jose Iglesias, who might be a pretty good move for them. So, yeah, I mean, this is a good lineup that with some decent pitching could be a very good team. Dylan Bundy, he showed a lot of potential, but he's another one that's using this foreign substance that what's-his-face seems to be giving out. And he could not be nearly as good. Andrew Heaney's a solid number 3 or number 4 starter, I think. Jose Quintana can eat up innings, and that's exactly what they need. They don't even really need an ace. They just need somebody who can eat up innings. And their bullpen, I think a lot of people are underrating this, but they need bullpen help too. Raisel Iglesias can't be the only one in your bullpen. You still probably need another reliever or two in this bullpen too. And I hope this Angels team makes some moves. And all you need is some eater-uppers and some good arms out of the bullpen, and you are in a good position as a team. It's not like you're hopeless. It's not like you don't have one of the best starting lineups in the league. Like a lot of other teams here would really be screwed if they did not get a Trevor Bauer. But the Angels aren't in that position. They can sign a bunch of number 2 type pitchers. And I thought Masahiro Tanaka might be an option, but he ended up re-signing in Japan with the Golden Eagles. And that's an L there. You've got future star Reed Detmeyer's. Joe Adele's supposed to be the next Mike Trout. But you can trade an asset like a Brandon Marsh or a Jordan Adams or a player like that for a starting pitcher. And that's what you should do here. Because I mean, here are some options for the Angels here. You've got J.K. on the free agent market, at least. You've got J.K. Arrieta, Trevor Williams, James Paxton, Chris Archer, Jake Odorizzi, Brendan Kinsler, Ian Kennedy, Shane Green, Brendan Workman, Ken Giles, and your trade candidates, Sonny Gray, Luis Castillo, Kyle Hendricks. And one that I don't think would cost too much here is Sonny Gray from the Cincinnati Reds. I think he would be a very, very good option for this team. And here's why I do. I think he would be a good option. He had a really good 2020 season. And that seemed to be everybody kind of on the Reds except Luis Castillo, obviously. But he had a good 2020 season, 5-3 with a 3.7 DERA, and he would probably be the ace of this team. And we know that they're just trying to get rid of contract money here in Cincinnati. And he had an even better 2019, 11-8 with a 2.87 ERA. It didn't work out in New York where he ended up having a 4.90 ERA. And, yeah, that's a problem. But Trevor Bauer, his stats in 2020, 5-4, 1.73 ERA. 2019 was a little rocky. But most of his stats were really run up when he went to Cincinnati and was injured, 2-5 with 6.39 ERA, compared to 9-8 with a 3.79 ERA in Cleveland, which is solid numbers. And 2018 was another big season for him, 12-6 with a 2.21 ERA. So the Angels, they're not totally hopeless. If I'm them, Sonny Gray's my number one option to try to get in this starting pitching. I think Jake Arrieta is a play they should take a chance on here. I really do, because he does have potential to be that ace-type pitcher. I think Trevor Williams is another pitcher that you could sign to be just kind of a back-end starting pitcher and would be very good. Now, you do need bullpen help. I think that is probably like an Ian Kennedy or Brandon Kinsler, who are going to be rather cheap options. Maybe even a Brandon Workman or a Ken Giles. I mean, Ken Giles, his value has to be kind of lower. So, yeah, but let's go ahead and get into some other teams here. And the Mets look to be favorites here. They do. And that really sucks for me as a Braves fan. But, it was expected that the Mets were going to be very good. So, for the Mets here, they already have a good team. They've already traded for Francisco Lindor, Carlos Carrasco this offseason. Obviously, former teammates of Trevor Bauer. And this fit, the more and more I think about it, makes more and more sense. They just dumped the salary of Steven Matz last night for Sean Reed-Foley, Yancy Diaz, and another prospect. They're dumping contract money, which means more and more like they're going to get Trevor Bauer. And I'm pretty sure that was like $7 or $8 million there, which I think frees up to about $32 million here, and that's pretty good. Your lineup, it's very good. Nemo, McNeil, Lindor, Conforto, Alonso, Smith, Davis, McCann. Very, very good starting lineup there. And your rotation's great with or without Bauer, with Carrasco, DeGrom, Stroman, Syndergaard, once he's healthy, and David Peterson or Joey Lucchesi. Your bullpen, you could use another bullpen arm. You signed Aaron Loup, which could be a good move. You've got Brad Brock, you've got Seth Lugo, you've got Aaron Loup, like I said, Jerry's Familia, Dylan Betances, Miguel Castro, Trevor May, and Edwin Diaz. This bullpen has a ton of potential, if we're being honest. And it helps a lot that they don't have to pay Robinson Cano, because if they had to pay Robinson Cano, then they were absolutely screwed. They could not sign a Bauer, or they would already be over the luxury tax. So, yeah. But it makes more and more sense here because, I mean, he even made a video saying that he really likes Steve Cohen's start as the new owner of the New York Mets. And I think everybody does, because he's trying to engage with the fans to see what they want to make Citi feel better, make it a better experience once fans are allowed back in the stadiums. And he's really trying hard to do that. So that's good. And obviously Bauer's different than some of these other players like LeMahieu or other players because he is a player that can ruin the locker room, you could say. I know he gets that reputation a lot of. He can ruin the locker room, all that stuff. And is it true? That's up for an opinion. Some think it was a fluke season, some don't. I mean, it's just a whole opinion, if we're being honest. Let's go ahead and talk about some sneaky teams here. And Bauer to the Mets, it's making more and more sense. Will he get to pitch every fourth day? I think he will. He will for some of the season. Now, I can't guarantee that all of the season he will get to pitch there every fourth day. But until Syndergaard comes back, I see him pitching every fourth day, and that's what he wants. here. And the Blue Jays, they're another option kind of in that sneaky team category for me. I don't see it happening. I see him signing really with the Mets probably. I know there's been a lot of question with George Springer on this team that maybe that's a problem there, which could make sense. I mean, something as small as Mickey Calloway can ruin the Angels there. So something like George Springer could really ruin that here because he was obviously on that cheating Astros team. And I think that kind of might ruin this a little bit. I know it may be disappointing for Blue Jays fans, but I think it could ruin some things there, and they can't help that. I mean, George Springer is a great player. I think I see them more trading for a Kyle Hendricks or Luis Castillo or Sonny Gray there, but I don't think Bauer to Toronto is happening. I just don't really see it happening. So yeah. Next team's the Dodgers. I know they've been like trying to see what he really wants, but it looks like he's going to want a lot of money. The Dodgers could pay the luxury tax for, I think, 1 year, is it? But you've got that contract of David Price, which is a terrible contract, if we're being honest. And you already are going to have to pay Bellinger sometime soon. Your lineup's great. I mean, you've got Betts, you've got Seager. Seager, you're going to have to pay next offseason, too. You've got Muncy, Will Smith, Cody Bellinger, A.J. Pollock, Edwin Rios, and Chris Taylor. Even off the bench, you've got players like Gavin Lux, Austin Barnes. This team has a really good farm system, too, and maybe could swing a trade for a player like Sonny Gray or Luis Castillo or Kyle Hendricks. Those are just some of the top starting pitchers on the market. Their bullpen, it's really, really good. You've got Corey Knebel, Joe Kelly, Brusdar Graterol, Blake Trinan, Kenley Jansen, and Tommy Canley's even on the IL, and Caleb Ferguson. So they have a good team already. And Trevor Bauer, they don't have to have Trevor Bauer to compete. They don't have to have him to compete. But overall, right now, I'm seeing it definitely leaning towards the Mets, and I think that I just don't think that the Angels are happening. I'm starting to really understand the Mickey Callaway thing, and I understand the fact that if you don't like your pitching coach, then you just don't like your pitching coach. I mean, and that's the thing there. I mean, I wouldn't want to go to a team that I don't like my pitching coach because he's old school, et cetera, et cetera. So the Mets seem like the most logical option here, and they seem like the most likely option, as much as I don't want to see it happen. And I'm rooting for a team like the Blue Jays or another AL team to sign him. I was rooting for the Angels to sign him, but it's not happening. So Bauer to the Mets, it really just feels like it's going to happen any day now. And yeah, I mean, it just makes sense all around. And yeah. So, yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications. 68% of you, like I said, are not subscribed. So get your life together. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, leave a like. Thank you for watching, and peace.